Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The first round of the live shows aired on Tuesday night and the judges weren't impressed with some of the acts. John Wines, 59, made it to the live shows and delivered a rock star performance on the guitar. The AGT contestant brought background performers out as he played. The other judges, Howie Mandel, Heidi Klum, and Sofia Vergara, liked it. Howie liked it so much, he stood up for the contestant. However, Simon delivered feedback that didn't sit right with fans. He started off by saying that he didn't think John's wife will be very happy when she watches his performance back. "I just thought the whole thing. I don't know what it was. I just felt strange," Simon told him. The crowd booed him before they moved on to Heidi's comments. Simon was so unimpressed with John that he bussed him halfway through his performance. Date he the whole point. Fans were not happy with Simon's feedback and took to the comments where the performance was posted to tell him. "Why was it strange? He is incredible," asked one fan. "Yes, it was strange, but that's the whole point, Simon. Not many old men like that can play the guitar like him, which I think is pretty damn amazing if you ask me," said one YouTube user. A third asked, "Amazing talent. Simon, can you do anything as talented as that? That's my question." "First time I don't agree with Simon, he's absolutely shredded, it was so focused, didn't even hear the X," said another. An AGT fan wrote, "I don't get why Simon thought it was strange. Simon's audio must have been off," said another. An Instagram user said, "Simon, that was beyond rude. At this stage of the show, let him have his 2 minutes. #AGT. Simon is mean. I love this act. I mean, I have never heard a guitarist as good as this young man. He is awesome. Love him," said one fan. "Simon, you got it wrong," wrote one last fan. Earlier in the episode, Howie was slammed by host Terry Crews for a brutal jab about Sophia's divorce. Bryn Cummings is a 12-year-old ventriloquist from Michigan, and she performed on last night's episode. Her act was centered around her puppet, which is a pink skunk, and how she wants to find love. Bryn had a large binder full of possible puppet pairings for her skunk to fall in love with. Heidi, 50, and the audience helped the skunk and Bryn choose a suitor from the binder. After the act was over, Howie, 67, was the first AGT judge to speak, and he clarified that the skunk's new hunk was a lovebird. He said, "You're adorable and you blend magic and ventriloquism, and you deserve to be here." The former game show host continued, "If I have one word of advice, if you're looking for eligible bachelors, you should have talked to Sophia because she's in the market right now." The host of the show, Terry, 55, immediately shut it down, yelling at Howie, No, we are not doing that," before he changed the subject. However, Sophia, 51, didn't seem to mind as she laughed with Howie and raised her arms in celebration while screaming, "Yeah! OutFR Hawaii." Several fans on X, formerly known as Twitter, called Howie out for the low blow against Sophia. One said, "I can't be the only one who thinks this episode of #AGT is weird, as **** cried. Howie threw that low blow at Sophia. The vibes are all off. It feels like the judges are pissed at each other and why lol." Another said, "That was so messed up at Howie Mandel making fun of Sophia, and it wasn't even funny." A third said, "Know your place, Howie. Thank you, Terry, for saving Sophia." Someone said, "Bryn Cummings was one of my favorite auditions from this season, but this one fell a little flat for me. At least till Howie made that Sophia being single zinger." In the world of entertainment, few judges have become as notorious and polarizing as Simon Cowell, the razor-tongued impresario known for his unflinchingly harsh critiques. His role on shows like American Idol, The X Factor, and America's Got Talent, AGT, has solidified his reputation as both a keen-eyed talent scout and an unrelenting critic. Over the years, Cowell has built a career on being the brutally honest judge, but his latest antics on AGT have ignited fresh controversy. Simon Cowell has been slammed as beyond rude and mean after his treatment of an older contestant, sparking a debate about his conduct, fairness in competition, and the dynamics of ageism in modern entertainment. The incident that sparked the outrage. During a recent episode of America's Got Talent, an older contestant took to the stage in hopes of impressing the panel of judges and pursuing a lifelong dream. Like many before him, this contestant had faced his share of life struggles and disappointments. His performance, though not spectacular, came from the heart, reflecting decades of passion for his craft. But instead of receiving constructive feedback, or even a modicum of respect for his effort, Simon Cowell was reported to have taken a particularly harsh stance. As the contestant stood nervously, awaiting feedback, Cowell's facial expressions alone seemed to speak volumes about his disdain for the performance. When it was finally his turn to speak, Cowell's comments bordered on condescending and unnecessarily cruel, leaving both the contestant and audience visibly shaken. What truly set people off, though, was Cowell's apparent amusement at the contestant's misfortune, with some viewers accusing him of praying for the downfall of older performers. The public reaction, beyond rude and mean. In the age of social media, moments like these don't go unnoticed. Almost immediately after the episode aired, viewers took to Twitter, Instagram, and Reddit to express their outrage at Cowell's behavior. Many described his comments as beyond rude and mean, pointing out that his treatment of the older contestant went far beyond mere critique. For many, Cowell's mocking attitude was seen as evidence of a deeper bias against older performers, with some accusing him of ageism. One fan wrote on Twitter, "Watching Simon Cowell tear down that man was heartbreaking. He's worked his whole life for this moment, and instead of encouragement, he gets humiliated. Is it that hard to be kind?" Another echoed similar sentiments, stating, "Simon Cowell is the worst part of AGT. His ego is massive, and it's sad to see him treat people like this, especially older contestants who spent their lives honing their skills." These reactions were not limited to the public either. Fellow judges on the show, though maintaining their professionalism, seemed uncomfortable with Cowell's conduct. At times, Cowell's co-judges appeared to temper their critiques to balance out his harshness, offering words of support to the contestant in an attempt to soften the blow. But the damage was done. Ageism in reality television. This incident has opened up a broader conversation about ageism in the entertainment industry, particularly on reality TV talent shows like America's Got Talent. While shows like AGT claim to provide a platform for people of all ages and walks of life, there's an undeniable bias towards younger, more marketable performers. Older contestants often find themselves fighting an uphill battle, not only to impress the judges, but also to break through the public's perception that talent has an expiration date. For many viewers, Simon Cowell's treatment of this older contestant crystallized a problem that's been festering for years: the entertainment industry's marginalization of older individuals. One critic wrote, "It's one thing to critique someone's talent, but it's clear that Simon sees older performers as past their prime, regardless of how good they actually are." This kind of attitude only reinforces the idea that youth equals potential, and anyone past a certain age should just give up. Older contestants on shows like America's Got Talent often bring years, if not decades, of experience to the table. For them, the opportunity to perform in front of millions isn't just a chance at fame, but often a way to validate a lifelong passion. Many have dedicated themselves to their craft through countless obstacles, including family responsibilities, financial hardships, and societal expectations that often limit older individuals' opportunities. To dismiss their efforts so callously, as some argue Cowell did, feels particularly cruel. Simon Cowell's reputation for harshness, crossing the line. Simon Cowell's harshness has always been a defining trait of his on-screen persona. From his early days on American Idol, where he became famous for scathing remarks like, "That was absolutely dreadful," to his current role on AGT, His persona has been built around being the judge who tells it like it is. For many, this brutal honesty is what makes him stand out, providing a counterbalance to the more encouraging and diplomatic feedback from his fellow judges. But there's a fine line between being brutally honest and being unnecessarily mean, and according to critics, Cowell has crossed that line multiple times. In the case of this older contestant, his harshness seemed less about providing honest feedback and more about humiliating someone who dared to step outside society's expectations for what is appropriate at their age. Critics argue that there's a difference between offering constructive criticism and reveling in someone's failure. For years, Cowell has been accused of doing the latter. His cutting remarks often feel more like an attempt to create drama and boost ratings rather than helping contestants grow or offering viewers insightful commentary. Some viewers are now calling for AGT producers to step in and hold Cowell accountable for his behavior. "Simon is crossing the line," wrote one commenter. "It's one thing to be honest, but when you're actively preying on the downfall of people, especially older contestants, it's clear you're just being mean for the sake of it. It's time for him to go." Why are older contestants targeted? Ageism in entertainment isn't new, but it's rarely addressed as openly as it should be. Older contestants, especially those in the performance arts, are often treated as novelties or sentimental acts, rather than being judged solely on their talent. When older individuals take the stage on AGT or similar shows, they're frequently met with a sense of disbelief, as if their age alone makes their talent less valid. Simon Cowell's treatment of the older contestant on AGT highlights this problem. Many viewers felt that Cowell didn't take the contestant seriously from the moment he stepped onto the stage. His body language and tone suggested that he had already written off the performer before the act even began, reinforcing the idea that older contestants are there to be pitied or laughed at, rather than celebrated for their perseverance and skill. The question of why older contestants are targeted in this way is complex. Part of it stems from the entertainment industry's obsession with youth and newness. Younger performers are seen as more marketable, with longer potential careers ahead of them. For older performers, their moment in the spotlight is often framed as their last chance, rather than a continuation of a long and fruitful artistic journey. This bias extends beyond television as well. Older actors, musicians, and performers often find themselves relegated to smaller roles or pushed aside in favor of younger talent. In an industry that constantly craves novelty, age is often viewed as a liability rather than a strength. Moving forward, can Simon Cowell change? As the backlash against Simon Cowell's treatment of the older contestant continues to grow, one has to wonder whether the judge will take any of this criticism to heart. Over the years, Cowell has shown little inclination to soften his approach, often doubling down on his harsh persona when faced with public outrage. However, with changing cultural attitudes towards issues like ageism, there may be increased pressure on Cowell and AGT's producers to reevaluate how they treat older contestants moving forward. There's no denying that Simon Cowell has an eye for talent, and his contributions to the entertainment industry are significant. But as viewers increasingly demand a more respectful and inclusive approach to competition shows, it may be time for Cowell to reconsider the role he plays. Being honest doesn't have to mean being cruel, and as this incident demonstrates, audiences are growing tired of seeing contestants, especially older ones, being torn down for the sake of entertainment. In the end, Simon Cowell's latest controversy isn't just about one contestant or one moment of cruelty. It's a reflection of deeper issues within the entertainment industry, from ageism to the pressures of reality television. Whether Cowell chooses to acknowledge these concerns or continues down the path of harshness remains to be seen. But one thing is clear: viewers are no longer willing to accept rudeness disguised as honesty, and they're ready to hold Cowell accountable for his actions. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our Update World 24 YouTube channel for more update news.